Hey guys, this week on AwesomeCast, we're talking CES. Chilla joins us for the first show of the year. All that and more, AwesomeCast. This episode is brought to you by our friends at Chachi Plays for Kids. Find out how you can participate and donate. ChachiPlays.com.
I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said now. I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the AwesomeCast episode 132. It's the year 2013, and we're back, and Chachi's learned how to use the hardware switcher. Here we are. Hey!
Ow.
Hey! I got two cameras on me. I'm Michael Sorg, your guy on the couch, as my title tells me. Thanks, Chach. Here
Well, it said guy on the Switch.
Guy on the Switch. Okay.
But you're not on the Switch.
I'm not on the Switch.
You're lying.
I'm lying. I'm a liar.
You would've been.
We're here to with Chachi behind the boards, ready to give you.
Wait for it. Watch this. Watch this.
Let's head over to Chachi.
Oh,
that didn't work. That didn't
failed.
work. That didn't work.
I'm gonna redo it.
Okay.
We're gonna do the flip.
The flip.
Ready?
Okay.
Whoa.
You're welcome, audio listeners.
Ow.
So. Chachi, are you ready to dish out another heaping helping of awesomeness for 2013?
I am ready to do another 48 to 49 weeks of awesome.
48 to 49. We're still negotiating that 49th.
Well, no, because I mean, last year I took off a couple weeks when I got sick. So that already took it down to 50. And then we took off 2 weeks.
We don't
at
need
the
to
end
do
of
the
the
math.
year.
We don't
We're
need to
doing
do
the
math.
math.
We don't need to do the math.
48 to 49 episodes.
Well, I have some other math, if you can drop it to me for some weather, because we had a 40% chance of Rob De La Creta on this episode. So we worked ahead. I'm glad I got the notice. I'm glad that Rob De La Creta's New Year's resolution is to give me his availability for AwesomeCast in meteorological terms. Also, I'm really happy to have on with us, returning the first.
Wait, hold on.
What?
I would just like to point out that as of the current setup right now, I can't give you an awesome Switch.
Yeah, no, we'll work on that there. But Chilla joins us.
But I'll make a sound effect.
Okay.
Oh, that is awesome.
See?
There you go. Chilla, John Chichilla joins us at Chilla on the Twitter, Director of Cool Tech.
Nice.
You set that up yesterday.
I set that up this morning. Yeah,
Didn't do it.
How you doing, John?
Nah, not too bad. I'm excited for CES. So we'll see what's going on there. I got a desktop on the video.
What?
Oh, sorry. It looked like for a minute that it bombed out to your desktop again, but for some weird reason it put me in a picture-in-picture.
Yay, Skype. Yeah, CES really kind of sneaks up on me. So, of this awesome week of, hey, here's a bunch of tech kind of situation. But
the one interesting thing this year, I think it's the first year they've switched the AVN, the adult video news. They moved it off this week.
Oh man, what's G4 going to do?
And they were complaining because CES was causing a price hike in airfare. So they moved AVN to, I think it's the 17th.
Wow. I'm glad you're keeping up on the AVNs.
Well, it's interesting because I knew people that were going and they were all excited. But they got there and there's nothing to see.
That was always the thing you heard about. You're like, and there's the adult thing happening in the other room or something like that. Go ahead.
They moved it to a different area in Vegas. And it's on a completely different week.
Well,
so
what?
I was going to petition to go to CES next year.
Well, not anymore. We'll tell you what. Chilla and I will go cover CES. We'll send you to the AVNs the week after.
Nice.
There you go. I don't know what show we're going to start that fits into. Why? Let's just do it for mayhem. There's enough wrestlers and porn, anyways. You can probably go and interview what? Your hands will be what?
So my hands will come back sticky.
You could go interview China and Gangrel, and it'll be fun.
Oh.
Anyways, this is the AwesomeCast. This is where we talk about awesome things. We record here live every Tuesday when we're not on Christmas vacation at 7 p.m. Eastern Time at live.sorgatronmedia.com. We're on Twitter at AwesomeCast. We are also, you can drop us a line at contact@awesomecast.com to give us any news or notes that you'd like on the show, or tell us how wrong we are about things. We're also available. You can find us on iTunes, Roku, Blip TV apps on your Roku box, or I think soon on the Xbox. Also on YouTube, on Stitcher. You can still watch us on YouTube on your Xbox, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So go check us out any of those ways, audio or video, whatever you prefer. So I wanted to start something new. I wanted to kind of bring the show back to awesomeness, because I feel like we've kind of just become general tech news, talking about less than awesome things here and there, and I want to, again, like I said, bring it back to the awesome. So I asked everybody to kind of pick an awesome thing of the week. I was really it was really wide open. It was like pretty much what is the thing from the week, or if you're somebody that doesn't join us every week, like Chilla, this is your first, so it could be anything. What's really got you excited lately? It could be a tip, it could be a news story, it could be about social media, it could be a gadget, especially we got a lot of gadgets coming out of CES right now. So I wanted to start off strong with what is the thing that got you the most holy crap excited this week. And I'll start off to kind of give an idea. This is actually kind of a left field thing, and I got a little less excited about it as I started looking into it today, as I was talking about it. I actually was kind of sharing this with some of my students in class as kind of a thing to help. But Adobe, I saw yesterday, has announced that they have released for free the entire Adobe Creative Suite CS2. Now, granted, Adobe's on CS6, right? This suite was released in 2005. It includes Photoshop, it includes Premiere Pro, Illustrator. All you have to do is, I think, even have a sign up with Adobe in order to download these things. You can do all the programs individually. Includes Go Live. Good luck with that. InDesign, InCopy, Audition, which is a great audio program. I use Audition for years editing these shows. I think formerly Cool Edit, I think it used to be. I mean, that's something we used on at my old job for the longest time. Acrobat 3D. But it's a great suite of tools if you're like, I just need Photoshop. The unfortunate part is, on the Mac side, it is PowerPC. So if you have a Mac that's over Snow Leopard, so basically any of the Lion versions, you're not going to be able to install this. Also, I think you have to jump through a few hoops to get it working on Windows 8, but there are threads on forums to get that working. So for, like, say, my mother-in-law, who just said the other day, I can't find that copy of Photoshop 7 you gave me, here's a nice legit thing I can give her and be like, here's Photoshop, for free. And really, what are you going to miss? What are you doing? What are you doing? Your wipe didn't work at all.
Yeah, it did.
It cut me in half and gave me no ad.
I only did that because it was fun.
Oh, jeez.
I was switching to the other cameras. Anyhow.
But anyways, like with stuff like this is a really cool thing. Even if you have like an old Mac lying around, an old PC lying around, and like these things, Chachi, it looked like I just came out of my own mouth.
I know.
That sounds really wrong out of context, which every audio listener just heard that. Anyways, Chachi, serious. Let's be serious for a moment. Serious
I am
face.
being serious. That's why I switched to another camera to get you serious.
But I agree with this. I mean, how many people are still on XP? So it's perfect for them.
Exactly.
I was seeing I think it was the Gizmodo or Lifehacker forums that people were posting potential ways even to get the Mac version running on newer Macs. I think this is a great idea, and I really think it'll help them grow their cloud usage or their subscription-based usage. You get into this, you prove to yourself that, hey, it would be worth it for me to go in and pay on a monthly basis. I get updates. I think this is a great thing for Adobe, especially where companies need to stay relevant.
Exactly. And I think this is one of those things where it's like they're the only game in town, therefore they can do this. You know, it's like, why not? Or give back. I don't know what the motivation altogether is, but I think it's a really good place to get people into it.
Yeah.
It's a really great place to get people, and even if like some of these people get it running and they'd be like, oh, that's great, it works on my old Mac, let's get the one that I can get on my new Mac. Or you know, again, like, you know, family members that are like, oh, I need Photoshop, but I'm not going to drop that much money on it. I was like, well, there's this option. And let's be honest, like I know I'm still using CS4. I held on to copies of CS1, CS2 for the longest times. You know, 6, 7 winters, far beyond what I needed. If you're using Photoshop, it really does not update that much from year to year. You know? It was just this is the version that's going to run hopefully a little bit better on this computer. We're using CS6 at the school, and again, other than like everything is gray instead of regular, you know, matte colored, I don't see much difference in it. Everything's in the same place. I'm sure there's got some new hooks in there for like video and everything they've been doing in the last few versions. But I don't see any reason that I want to go, you know, drop whatever for CS6 over my CS4.
Do you see any differences in speed? The only reason, because I thought it was between CS4 and CS5. CS5 was full 64-bit.
Yes, that is one thing. So, but you know, even on like my 2009 MacBook, it seems to run fine. And plus, like, you know, using it at the school, you know, those are all kinds of range of processors and on those iMacs. So nothing I can notice. You know, the few times it's opened up, it seems to be pretty quick, but still, it's not enough. You know, that little bit of performance. It's not like I'm doing a whole lot of photoshopping. You know, I just need like a graphic here and there for a video piece. You know what I mean? Or a flyer real quick to do for the show, or you know, DVD covers or something like that. Nothing real high end. So, well, actually, even if you have a Windows 2000 machine, Intel Pentium 3 or 4 processor, you can run this. That's all it gives for specs. And you can run it on a PowerPC G4 or G5. I have a G4 tower down here I want to try it on now. So there's that. Chilla, do you have an awesome thing of the week?
I think two things came up to me. I'm a big Firefox fan. Firefox released their information, or their new version today, version 18, which I think it's a little bit ridiculous the way they jump version numbers. But the second thing that I think is actually going to cause an avalanche of additional people coming out with it, with more announcements. Facebook started this Let's Steal CES Thunder, and they sent out invites this afternoon for an announcement, and I can't remember the exact date, but I think it's next week or the 15th or somewhere around there. That I think is going to be interesting, because we saw it towards the end of the year, and I don't remember the exact order. Amazon scheduled their announcement, or I think Microsoft scheduled their announcement, then Google followed them, and then Amazon, and then Apple. And usually this is right around, this is the first time Apple hasn't chimed in on CES. Mm-hmm. Microsoft is pretty much absent except for Ballmer's. He was actually involved in the keynote speech, which Microsoft said they wouldn't be.
With Qualcomm.
Yeah, with Qualcomm. So I think that Facebook giving out their invite, I think you'll see companies over the next few days start to give out additional invites to press releases and information upcoming.
It's an interesting game that happens. It's kind of like you know, a few months ago where we had Google and Amazon kind of jumping over each other for announcements along with Apple. And the other question, like, you know, Apple usually kind of starts saying something around this time to kind of blow off CES, right? Mm-hmm. But it feels like they've released everything. So, I mean...
Well, I don't know. I'm hearing rumblings that you're still going to see another iPad during the normal iPad launch.
It's going to be interesting. I really do. It does feel like the iPad is going to become like a computer that, you don't get much of an announcement unless you get something like the recent iMac refresh or the holy crap, look at the Retina MacBook. I really think iPad is just going to be that thing that gets a spec bump every maybe 6 months, I guess,
Right. And
to keep it fresh.
I'm hearing rumblings, or maybe it's been shown the Mac Minis being produced in the United States. That might get a bump.
Excellent.
And
they just did.
They
did. Like 3 months ago, they got a bump.
Yeah, and I think the one big thing is going to be they're realizing that the iPad Mini needs a Retina display.
So they might pop it up a little bit sooner.
Yeah.
So it could be one of those things. They're playing an interesting game because it does seem like it feels like they're like, we have this many screens now, so we'll go ahead and do this. People will buy it, and in 6 months, we'll have enough Retina screens. People will buy them. It's not. They're not worried about running out of people to buy these things.
Right.
At this point. And as far as the iPad people that are, scorned by the I just bought a 3 and you just put out a 4 now, you're going off your own cycle, kind of thing. It's like, come on, man. They're going to put out whatever makes sense to them. And you got to think this is a different guy in charge. They're going to, the release schedule is going to probably get shaken up a little bit for however he sees fit, and he has a different way of thinking about things.
And I think the thing that's going to be extremely important to them, and it may cause them to hold off, is their procurement channels. I mean, they're having a huge problem with meeting demand.
Mm-hmm.
I think today the 27-inch iMac was delayed another 3 to 4 weeks.
Oh,
so if they continue to have these supply chain issues,
mm-hmm.
They got to slow down and get this under control, or they're going to be back where they were years ago, trying to get people back on their devices.
Exactly. They're not having any shortage right now, so yeah. Chachi,
Yes, sir.
do you have an awesome thing of the week? And is it really awesome?
As we discussed pre-show, that I was taking it. Wait. There we go.
Hi.
I went to switch it over here.
That's fine. That's just go ahead.
But I was taking it a different way. You had said a thing that blew our mind.
Yeah.
And I figured that something can't happen every week to blow our minds.
We'll see. We'll see how far this goes.
No. Something cannot happen to blow our minds each week. Okay? There are just going to be some weeks where the news is slow. There's not really stuff to blow our minds.
Okay, so you're going to take our step back right off the bat.
No. I'm just changing your awesome idea.
Okay.
Instead of it being something that blows our mind,
mm-hmm.
it's just something that caught our attention, whether it be good or bad.
Okay.
Sorg, and I have a legit reason to use this time. Tell the wonderful people my history with Sony.
Your history with Sony, oh boy, it's been a tumultuous situation in a relationship. I know you are very angry about the PlayStation 3. The Vita was complete crap to you, and there's a few other things that just made you scratch your head and want to make you poop on them.
Right. Oh, wrong way.
Wait, go back there. You need Sorg looking down to the left and Chachi looking up to his right.
So
there you go.
Chachi,
Yes.
Tell me, why has PlayStation what have they done to get your goat now, sir?
Well, Sorg,
Okay.
I'm glad you asked.
Oh, good.
This way. Look at that. See that?
Hey, look, that phone better have a protection plan.
That phone is in water.
Oh no!
A lot of water.
Oh no!
It coming from CES. Sony announced the Xperia Z, 5-inch screen that can be in 3 feet of water for a time of 30 minutes and be perfectly fine.
30 minutes?
Yes.
Why 30
They're
minutes?
dubbing it the bathtub phone.
As long as you weren't wearing your headphones when you dropped it in the water.
Exactly.
Huh.
Well, what they're saying is that it can survive being dropped in a toilet, and if you get it dirty, you can just wash it under the tap.
Okay.
It runs Android, or it will run Android, and it's Sony's answer to the Galaxy and the Windows 8 phone. It has NFC that allows to play playback video to an outside device. Yeah, here's my thing. This whole waterproofing thing is gonna last 15 minutes before people realize that it's not a good idea. Here's why. Even in this article, it mentions that it has at least 2 ports. Now, in order to make those ports waterproof, they require a special seal and a special locking system on the case. Like Chilla said, you're wearing your headphones, you drop that phone in a puddle, effed.
Now, this has been my problem with the OtterBox cases, because they're kind of the same way, but somebody's like, oh, my phone's waterproof, and da-da-da-da. It's like, yeah, but you always have to have your ports covered, though. Doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose of using it?
Yes.
You know? I mean,
It does.
It's like, well, I forgot I'm just going to leave that off because it's a pain in the butt. It's like, well, now you've lost the effectiveness of that case. You know?
And how does it work for the speaker port? Is there some kind of like membrane over it that only allows
It doesn't.
something in one direction? Because I'm finding it odd that I could even pick up a phone call with it.
Yeah. Hold on, I need to unfasten my handset, my phone part of my phone. I missed the call.
Sony hopes that the waterproof design will help them take on the iPhone.
But
That's the killer feature we're missing.
The iPhone, folks. Sony doesn't want to take on Android.
What is the thing? What is this phone? Android?
Yeah.
Okay. They're not
wanna
taking on Samsung.
No.
They're not taking on the other guys.
No, they want to take on the iPhone.
The iPhone.
Hold on. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people in the chat, or 8 people in the chat room.
Yeah.
There's 3 of us here. Quickly, Chilla, have you ever dropped your phone in the toilet?
no.
Sorg, have you ever dropped your phone in the toilet?
Not in the toilet, but other water-faring places.
I've never dropped my phone in the toilet.
Okay.
Chat room, there's 4,
No,
5,
never.
6. So, all right, there's 6 people right there that have never dropped their phone in the toilet.
Yes.
This isn't a big problem.
Nope.
I'm done.
So how many people? And I see it more in the female demographic. How many people store their
dropped the
phone
toilet
in
on
their
my
back
phone
pocket?
Yeah, that's the other thing.
I don't understand that.
So,
like
and I think that's where you have your
toilet accidents.
your toilet phone.
Huh.
It's when it's in your back pocket and.
Like, I check it in my front pocket when I get up.
Yeah.
You know? It's just like, don't stop putting... Bitches be dropping phones into the toilets, y'all, says Bobby. Wow.
But Sony,
Sony!
I can't
Ricky!
say what I normally say to Sony on this show.
No.
The content is not appropriate. Sony, I'm disappointed in you. Again, strongly disappointed in you. For the audio listeners, I'm shaking my head.
He's shaking his head.
Sorg, let's move on.
Let's move on. You know, I did drop real quick, and maybe this will be a thing that we do. I did drop the What's Your Awesome Thing of the Week into the chat room, and let me pull this up here, Chachi. I put it in there under the chat heading, just under ours. Alex Cars put one here, and this is going to be, I mean, these are ones that I'm just looking at for the first time, so bear with me here. But he puts in, and we'll see if Chachi can get these up, a stainless steel 4 gigabyte USB men's cufflinks, $19.99. So is it 4 gigabytes a piece or between the two of them? Is my first question. These are over on Shadora.com. So there you go. There you go.
What they probably don't tell you is it's $19.99 per cufflink.
Yeah.
So it's 4 gig per cufflink, but you got to buy 2,
well,
or your
spiffy.
cufflinks won't match.
That's spiffy and useful. Or if you're a spy.
Let's see what else we got.
And then we got another one here. What's that?
Wheels.
Yeah, Wheels posted one too. His from over on Mashable is Kingston introduces the world's first 1 terabyte USB 3.0 flash drive.
Wow. Alexander says that he would like to note that only one of the cufflinks contain the USB.
Oh, the other one's just for... Jeez, that doesn't seem useful.
It's just a matching cufflink.
So this one, they don't have... They don't have a price yet for this 1 terabyte flash drive, but if you were looking for the 512 gigabyte model, that's going to go for $1,750.
Can I drop it in water?
That's a good question. A lot of these flash drives can go through the dryer, like the washer and dryer usually, or get run over by a car. I don't think you'd want to test this with that at that price. So,
Shit.
I mean, it's got to be like $3,000 at least for this thing.
That's insane. $1,700 for.
You can quickly lose 1 terabyte of data.
Whoops!
Oh, I left it.
Whoops!
I'll be honest with you. That is one thing I have lost. Not dropped in water, but lost physically.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, they're usually 1 and 2 gig.
Right.
As it is, I'm worried enough when I'm taking my Mac Mini from the office upstairs down here to do this show.
He puts it in a bag.
I do put it in a bag because I'm afraid I'm going to put it somewhere stupid because it's so small. And there I've lost an entire computer. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just like, or even like that's why I don't have a Mac Air, because Frank has a Mac Air. And I'm just like looking at the thing. It's just like something bad is going to happen to that in my hands because it just seems like too easy that has been put in the wrong place, and I don't know.
If I have a flash drive, like I have 2 don't take anywhere thumb drives.
Yeah.
And you want to know how I know which ones they are? One is Darth Vader, and the other is a fully working transformer.
This one, like I had one on my keychain that was like a 256 mega, and it stopped working. I have lost all 3 of my flash drives. I had an 8 and 2 2s, and they're gone.
Yeah, I don't.
I need to stock up on them. I just need to like buy them off Amazon. Or like
I know that if it's an important document, it goes on one of the 2 awesome looking thumb drives that don't leave my house.
You know what? Documents tend to go in the cloud. It's like, well, something's going to be on the internet, right? Well, in your case,
there's a 3 system backup, Sorg. You know that.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I'm failing at it because technically I should be taking one of them off site.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not taking one of my good.
I tried to explain no, I'm not getting into the backup thing right now. We're just not going to get into that.
It's fun.
No. I was trying to. I think it was the same day that my grandfather explained the MacBook with the pizza box.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
He is awesome. All right, let's get into some.
If you haven't met Sorg's grandpa, you need to meet.
We need to get him on the show sometime.
Yeah,
we're just like, hey, come
just
talk
so
about.
Talk.
I just want you to tell me what you do with your computer.
Right.
You know, I mean, he's not doing anything tremendously exciting. He's really just managing his finances in QuickBooks or something. But the
point is him explaining the computer.
Exactly. I mean, and I know like some of it is just him being frustrated about the computer.
Only person I don't charge.
Exactly. Just like, just come talk to us about computers. It's like I think it'll be endearing. Chachi, can we talk about video games a little bit?
Can we?
CES, it isn't a big time for Xbox or Sony, or video game wise usually, or definitely not Nintendo.
You're looking at the Shield.
What?
Which one are you looking at?
I'm looking at Steam first of all.
Oh.
But this is the time where guys like Steam, guys like what we're going to see here from Nvidia, where you start seeing something like a Phantom console, things that pop up that are like kind of a Me Too thing, kind of something trying to edge itself in. These are kind of more decidedly the PC gaming industry, but they're kind of something different too, I think, right?
Right.
In the case of Valve, we've been hearing for the longest time about Steambox, right?
Yes.
So apparently, they're not really calling it a Steambox. Is that am I seeing that right? Because the one you have up here is The Verge saying Valve Steambox. No, wait, I got a different one. What was your headline over there? Valve engineer explains Steambox comments. No current plans to announce anything in 2013.
Right.
Now I'm confused. This is one I just heard about on the way home, so I just grabbed a couple articles real quick. It's called the XI3.
And that's, I think, what the name was when they kickstarted it.
Okay. This appears to be a modular PC that they're building, that they're showing off at CES. This is no longer vaporware or suspicions or anything like that. But it's modular in nature. It's a box that looks like it goes right under your TV.
The one they're using is the one that they used in their big picture mode.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Basically their future plans.
Okay, so okay, so the future plans with the Steam box with the big picture mode. But really, I feel like the big picture mode is going to apply to this too. If this is going to be under a TV,
yeah, probably.
So there you see they got a bit of a controller. The Verge. Again, this is kind of more breaking and not having much time to get on the article here today. According to The Verge, the meeting with a number of hardware and software partners to push forward its plans to release its own console-like PC for the living room. The company isn't showing off much to the press this year, but we managed to take a look at some prototype hardware Valve has sitting out, and it's not all too surprising. Right now, the Steam box looks like a small chassis PC. Representative Ton Gardino says that the company came to CES to meet specifically with hardware partners and has roughly 15 to 20 lined up. So this is happening. And also remember, CES is not just for the press. This is where deals do get done. With case in point with this stuff. So they are talking to people. They are trying to get this out. And there's prototypes out so we can kind of get an idea of what this thing could be.
Right. CES started as a way for all companies to come together and
it's a trade show.
It's one
consumer electronics show.
Right.
It's companies like this getting together. There are people out there, distributors, looking to buy stuff for the year.
Correct.
I mean, I remember back in the day, back in my Nintendo Power, Chachi, Nintendo Power. I know, right? There were special reports from CES because that's where Nintendo unveiled all its games. I don't think the E3 was even around yet. They just kind of went off to that. Ooh, that was smooth. That was smooth there, Chach. You like the plants? Like the plants coming to you live from the women's bathroom?
That's my line.
Yep. Anyways, I don't know. I'm excited to see where this goes. But again, it's much like this other thing. It's one of those things where I don't see where it fits for me. No, but I can see where it could fit for a lot of people. Who do you convince? There's going to be a lot of early adopters, but who do you convince? Hey, this is the thing you should get instead of an Xbox.
One word.
One word?
Yes.
What's the word?
Fanboys.
Fanboys?
Yes.
Okay.
The only people that want this are Steam fanboys. That's it.
Okay.
Because
some people that are already into it, so it's like, why don't I get the thing to play all those games I just bought? But then the other question is, this thing is going to be Linux. So I booted Linux on this very laptop in front of me. I have, I think when last I checked, 98 titles on my Steam account.
Right.
5 work in Linux.
Where do you play those?
5. No, I'm saying 5 work in Linux.
Oh.
Where do I play them? I play whichever ones are compatible to my Mac because that's what I have. I need to throw XP on my new Mac.
This console at first is only going to be for fanboys.
Okay.
Anyone else doesn't need it. They're not going to spend the money because they already have their gaming machine.
Exactly.
If they are using Steam for the majority of their games, they already have their primary gaming machine.
Or it's people. I think this is also, if they're smart about it, they'll push something like this to the people that are afraid to build their own computer, that are scared of going and buying an Alienware and worrying about all that stuff and compatibility and all that. If you just have this modular system, like all I have to do is plug and play and this works now, I think that could be a game changer, but it has to have the right push behind it. It has the right partners behind it.
It's not going to be a game changer.
I'm saying if. That's why I'm not really sure. Hey, you know what's going to be... well, first, Chilla, what do you think about this kind of modular PC for gaming concept?
If they can come in at the right price point, I think they could get... I think from what I'm hearing, a lot of people are not replacing their PCs, or they're tired of the PC upgrade battle. So if they can come in at a comparable price, well under, say, an Xbox, I think you're gonna see people would be willing to buy it, especially if they paired it with some kind of monthly unlimited playing, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone wants to seem to be sell something on a monthly basis. Go buy an Xbox for $99.99, and I think it's 2 years of you have to pay for 2 years. Right? It's a year at $15 a month or something.
Yeah.
So I could see making it subscription based at an extremely low price. You're going to get either the person that's no longer wants to keep up with their PC, or you're going to get, hey, I just am a leisure gamer. I want to be able to play video games. Here we go.
Yeah. John in the chat room saying I think it's all about price point, because I think that for me, who hasn't gotten into Steam, that this is my in. Then this is my in. Wrestling Revolution says if I can still get Steam game prices, I would buy it, since I have no interest in buying a gaming computer, but I do like to play Steam games. That's the thing, man. That store is killer. And you say like then nobody will be interested in it. What was the installed base of Steam is ridiculous, more than Xbox, more than Sony, anything like that. So you have people on this. If you just like trickle out to just those people, that already captive audience, that there's this thing as your option for your upgrade computer, then that might be a thing. You know, I think there's like just they already have the audience there. It's not like it's some new service coming out of nowhere like we're about to see that would. You know, it was like, well, why would I get on live and start a whole new system when I don't even know it's going to be around in a few years, right? Steam's proven at this point, so, and proven to a lot of people directly. The other gaming news, Chachi.
Yeah, I got it. It's right here.
Have you seen this NVIDIA Shield yet?
No, this is my first time.
So for those that are on audio, this thing is
First time seeing this.
NVIDIA's putting it out.
It looks fancy.
It's a controller. It says it feels a lot like an Xbox controller. It actually has kind of like a flip-up screen. It's a high-resolution screen. This thing is currently running. It's running the Tegra 4 system on a chip. It's running on Android, but apparently this thing is able to be. You know, they can put a lot of different things on this.
I was going to say, from the picture alone, there's an Android store, Google Mail, browser.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, Stitcher, YouTube.
There's access to Steam.
Play music.
There was a video today where it actually looked like a full-fledged. It looked like a phone running Android, but in, what would that be, landscape mode?
See now, and I'm trying to figure out. It sounds like this is a similar situation to what's going on with the Steam box, modular hardware kind of thing, where they're talking to partners.
Well, I don't know, because it seems like it's more let's compete with like a Game Boy, or let's compete with the iPod Touch, because kids are replacing their Game Boys with the Touch, but they're upset because now they have no controller.
Yeah.
So now you're getting a handheld type screen, but then you're also getting all of the libraries from the Android or the Play Marketplace. You could potentially, I mean, the possibilities on that are endless. I mean, heck, I actually like to use my Motorola Zoom now for playing old TurboGrafx 16 and Nintendo games.
In this case, this is the most intriguing thing. I guess it's going to have access to stuff like the Steam Store, and at least in this iteration. And they showed off the thing playing Borderlands 2 and they say the latest Call of Duty, but from the screens it looks like it is Black Ops 2, being streamed to the device from a nearby PC. And they say it was smooth, effortless, no lag. So this being kind of a weird. I'm not sure what the purpose is. And maybe it's just in the explanations here. They're talking about having 3G and 4G variants of it, 2 gigabytes of RAM, and 32 gigabytes of storage on board the demo console. They got to see, but they still say they're still pinning down the finer details like the spec sheet, which is why there's not yet been a final clock speed on the Tegra Tegra 4 815 chip that's inside it. And again, I can't keep up on these chips anymore. That's why I'm kind of all right with a Mac or a modular PC at this point.
Pass.
Is this a pass for you? This doesn't look. It looks interesting. Okay, it looks like okay. That's a pretty interesting little device.
You know what they're showing me
Who
right
the
now?
hell is it for?
You know what they're showing me right now?
What are they showing you?
They're showing me something that I don't need.
Yeah, as a gamer, you're not interested, right?
If I'm gonna be streaming, or if I'm gonna be playing Call of Duty, I have a device for that. I'm not gonna stream it from my computer to a bulky handheld device. It's just because I'm in another room. If I'm going to sit down and play Call of Duty, I'm going to sit in front of my flat screen HD TV and put on my Turtle Beach headset.
And in a world where Nintendo DS and Sony's Vita are not doing that well.
And I have a device that plays Android.
Yeah.
Right there.
And he's got a new one coming, folks. Don't worry about that G2 right there.
I got a new one. It's ordered. It'll be there Friday.
What are you getting for those interested?
It's what did I say?
LG something.
Oh, Lumina 9.
Lumina? That's not right.
Luminous.
Oh, something.
Hold on,
Something.
Yeah, keep talking.
Okay.
I'll find it.
But yeah, I mean, Chachi.
Oh my!
Hi.
I clicked it there and I forgot to.
That's fine. That's fine. You'll get. That's why I leave that blank slate one so we can just do video. LG Manamana, says Alex Cars.
I think, but if you look at that, and then you look at, and I posted it, they announced it at CES, the Razer Edge device, which is a full-fledged Windows tablet that has a rig that kind of goes around it, and you're seeing these come out from, I think GameStop has a device that's Android-based.
Yeah. They're
coming out with a Windows-based device that now I'm going to carry around, and it's going to be probably an 11-inch tablet, and it's going to let me play video games. I go back to, you got to hit the kid market, and you got to make it last.
That's what happened with Wii, right? They hit the kid market, they hit the everybody market, but they didn't make it last. They couldn't sustain.
Right. And I think you see it. Look at the Game Boy market, though. Look how long the Game Boy market lasted as a mobile device. I can throw my kid in the back seat, hand him this device, and I'm not going to hear.
Stop throwing your kid around.
First
of all, you're a bad parent. Stop it.
We are driving cross country to see your grandma play.
Stop dropping him on his head and handing him a Game Boy.
But I think that's where the market is going. You have to have a device that's mobile, and I think that if anything's showing it this year, it's CES realizes there's issues in the mobile market, and it comes from, you see the mobile disk drives that are Wi-Fi battery enabled devices that I can now take this hard drive with me, and you're seeing it in the power area where, okay, I have this device that I carry with me because I can't last on a single charge on a device and I'm not by some kind of electrical plug. So I see these devices making their way in. Is this the right device? I don't think so. I think you'd be better off taking that at a bare minimum, take that device, do what it does today, give them Steam, and put an HDMI port on the end of it, and let me plug it directly into my TV.
And that's the thing. This thing does have an HDMI port to do stuff like that too.
Okay, so I could see it.
Mini.
Well,
Mini.
But it's still an HDMI port.
Still, it counts.
Mini.
Yeah. And I mean, you look at there's other companies. There's a company I put down in there, Player, that they have a device, or they have something that is going to plug into your HDMI port on your computer, and it's going to stream from any of your devices.
Oh wow!
Whether it's Windows, Android, iOS, or whatever. So I think I think there's a market for it. Is this the right format? I don't know.
Let's get into CES wise. You have a pretty comprehensive list of stuff that you've gotten interested in here.
So I'm going to just run down these real quick, because a lot of them I don't feel need minutes and minutes of discussion.
No.
I kind of briefly touched on the Razer Edge. I think it's a good concept. Will it catch on? I don't know. I don't think people are going to carry 11-inch tablets around to play games on. And they're like Chachi. You're going to sit at your TV. You're going to sit somewhere. Mobility, I don't think, is the most important thing, except in a handheld device like a Game Boy.
Right. If you're going to go mobile, it needs to be its own system. It doesn't need to put the effort in and make a gaming device. Don't throw Android on something that's on a phone that's attached to a.
And I see it. You know what? Microsoft could answer it with the 720. Make it a uniform platform across the Windows platform and the Xbox, and let me take my game out of my Xbox and throw it in my Windows laptop and be on my merry way.
Right.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
But there's your answer. Or give me a small Surface type tablet where I can. They obviously have the technology to load the game to the device, so I no longer need the DVD. Give me some way, almost like a Netflix, where it can check if I'm already playing it somewhere and I'm not already logged in, and let me take it on the go.
Right.
They own the platforms. Heck, they make the Xbox hardware. They're going to come out. They have the Surface RT hardware. They have the Surface Pro hardware they're coming out with. They have the technology. They have the hardware.
They're calling it Xbox on there.
Right. I don't understand what the big deal is.
Yeah.
And that leads into, I'm amazed at how many laptops are out there. Everybody's Windows 8 this, Windows 8 that. The one thing that the only device that I saw that really sparked a huge interest for me was the Lenovo Yoga, which has the form factor where the keyboard kind of flips around the back. There's a commercial out. I think they just released. It's a spy commercial.
Yeah.
It's interesting because it's a touchscreen device with a keyboard, which I think has its place. I don't know how much adoption it's going to get. I think Rob says it really well, where, and we all can give our opinion, but I'm not. If I have a keyboard and mouse, I'm not going to continually reach up and touch everything I'm doing.
I am, and I already do.
Okay.
I am, and I already do when I don't have touch machines. Like, I want to touch it so bad. Every time I'm sitting there and trying to show somebody something on the screen, when I'm teaching them, I just want to touch and move. I want to Chachi, when I was setting up his laptop over there, I wanted to touch the keyboard.
Yeah.
Or touch the screen. Oh my God, the MacBook Air, Chach. Every time I pick it up, I want to touch the screen. Every time, because I'm like, this is an iPad, right? It seems intuitive to me, and I've been on purpose trying to use my iPad with a keyboard to kind of get that idea.
And maybe that's something that I just look at a lot of the interfaces, and maybe being in the tech area, like the server world, and I look at people like AJ, and you talk about it. Interfaces aren't created for that touch interface yet. And
no, they're not.
That's where the software companies will start to realize, oh, I need to make this touch friendly.
Yeah. Well, half the time, I mean, look what happened on the iPad. You know, where a lot of some of those interfaces aren't very touch friendly. You know, especially going from iPad to iPad Mini. You know, and there was a lot of problems there. You know, not everything's designed very well. You know, look at Android. You know, is even worse. So
which leads into the phones and tablets. There's a whole slew of Android devices. There was an interesting article I read last week that was all about, well, if Android can just reach market saturation through cheap devices, they could technically have some leverage, have a lot more leverage than they do versus the Apple market.
Yeah.
And then it would force people onto the platform, and then they could pick up the sleek look and feel later on.
It sounds like the Windows approach. People will get onto this platform by just its existence and persistence.
Right.
So I don't know if that's that's the right way to do it. I mean, it's a way to do it, but it's not the. I don't know.
The thing that I'm not too keen on, and I mean, I don't know about you guys. I'm seeing more and more 6-inch devices. Whereas like the 5-inch or the large 4 point whatever inch Android devices. They went to a 5-inch, and then now you're seeing some 6-inch devices pop up, which makes me wonder, where's it going to end? I had a demo device from LG that I think it was the Optimus or something like that. It was like a 5-point-something inch device. It felt very awkward in my hand. Most people that used it said I wouldn't use it without a Bluetooth headset. We had some people that said they could see it in a manufacturing plant.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But from a phone perspective, it didn't make much sense, which then leads into Linux and Mozilla entering the mobile OS market.
Before you roll into that, I want to bring up Chachi, if you can bring this up from the chat from John.
No.
He put up this turn your Windows 8 laptop into a touchscreen device with this gadget. It's a pen that attaches to the side of it. It looks like, I don't know, there might be a little more that goes on in that laptop part there, but it turns it's a pen touchable touch at that point. I think it's a little more of a hindrance in that case, but kind of gets a little bit of the job done, right?
Well, and it makes people that are upgrading their computer or getting a new desktop but not replacing their monitor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because really, desktop-wise, that only really works if you get one of those all-in-ones.
Yeah. And I think Samsung and a couple other companies, LG, they're going to be releasing some touch-based monitors.
Or if I don't need enough computer to warrant dropping $600 on it, we just bought a $270 one again for Missy's mother, and it's like, well, you want the touch stuff? Well, we can get you this guy, and then you can do that kind of stuff if you need be, trying to do your Photoshop and whatnot. I'm wondering how much it is, though. Nothing's announced here in this article on Mashable. But if that's things like, under $100, I think it'd have to be even less than that to really kind of do anything. It'll be considerable. So, what was your next thing there?
Linux and Mozilla entering the mobile OS market. Not coming out with necessarily devices.
Linux, are you talking Ubuntu?
Yep.
So I knew Ubuntu said they're going to have a device this year.
Yeah, and I think it's actually launching, I think, end of month in the UK on the O2 network.
What's what you said, Firefox, Mozilla?
Yeah, and Firefox, I think you're going to see that they have some prototype devices out there. Well, the Linux kernel the Ubuntu kernel. I think they're claiming that you'll be able to load it on the Samsung Galaxy S2 devices. So if you have an old 2 laying around, you can throw that on there.
Is that Linux based as well? I take it.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, and the Mozilla and Firefox, the interesting thing, I think there's a mobile conference coming up that I think they're going to give more information about it. But it's a lot of HTML5 OS base, and I'm guessing it has some kind of Linux kernel underneath.
And that could be interesting. It definitely needs a little bit of competition. It doesn't need to be a lot, but a little bit to help the Android out.
But now I did see 2 blurbs today that referred to the Mozilla OS as codenamed Chrome. Which
hell?
Let's just cause more confusion.
Why would you do that? Also, Ubuntu. Holy crap! Ubuntu's doing a TV OS as well. I was reading about.
Yeah, I think they're doing a TV OS, and that's where
it's nothing that you can. You pretty much have to be a manufacturer that buys into this, but they made a version. They're trying to get into it. So, hey, give me Chilla. We got to wrap here. So, give me your last 3 items, and we'll get out of here.
So I think that when we talk about devices around the house, and we were talking about streaming video games, I think wireless technology is going to be huge, especially in the house, as we start to put more streaming boxes, more disc, more everything in the house. I think Wi-Fi is going to be huge.
I heard about a new coalition for the Internet of Things that was started amongst a few companies, including Ouya.
Okay, I didn't see that. What I saw was the AC chip and a load balancing chip that would pretty much bump up your Wi-Fi speeds in your house, I think, up over a gigabit. So now your wireless is going to be traveling faster than your wired, and it's going to be traveling much faster than your internet connection to your house, which will get interesting. which leads to the Intel chipset. Intel released a bunch of information about new chip lines.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that was stated for when you look at Ultrabooks and they used the MacBook Air as their, for instance, it would get 13 hours of battery life and a 25% speed increase. So I think Intel's trying to stay relevant by, hey, we'll create you chips now that you can get a lot of battery life out of, and they're really, really fast. So just make every laptop that you were going to make it a tablet. And since the other thing that the chipset requires for you to get the Intel Inside sticker for your device, it has to be a touchscreen.
Oh, what the hell? Way to go, Intel.
So I was just building a PC
Okay.
with one of the links we didn't get to because Will's not here.
Okay.
And I got down to the hard drive and was already up over $10,000.
$10,000.
Yeah, the most expensive hard drive they have is a 1.6 terabyte solid state drive, and it alone was $10,000. Like I did the CPU, the memory, the cooling, and the hard drive, and I was at $10,666. It was insane.
Yeah.
So I think one of the other major things you're seeing is the smart TVs, the streaming boxes. I think someone needs to come out in front. Maybe Microsoft will make a huge power play and start putting apps on the Apple TV. Google's getting their stuff put in with their OS on a lot of TVs. Samsung has their smart hub. LG, Panasonic, they all have different stuff they're putting on their devices. I think they need to work closer with the cable companies unless they do expect everyone to cut the cord for a lot of their technologies. And then the streaming technologies, there's just a slew of different ways to stream data. And video. Someone needs to organize that and come out with an actual standard that everyone's going to adopt.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see you honing in on one of the things about the camcorders. There were I was impressed with a lot of the high quality camcorders that are out there at an extremely low price point. But I'm wondering, do a lot of people continue to buy camcorders, or are they being replaced with phones? And I know Rob uses his digital SLR.
Well, I think what you're going to see what happens is you have. Yes, the general populace is not going to buy camcorders. They're going to do their phones. They're going to do the things. They're going to buy the cheap ones, you know. But then I think what the camcorders what happens with them is you get the enthusiast accessibility. The people want to make films for Blip TV, for YouTube, stuff like that. That becomes a bigger, I think, focused at that point,
and it becomes more cost effective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the point. Because the reason we do all this is because all this stuff is cost effective, you know, versus what it would do. We wouldn't have this kind of cobbled together studio on a budget that we would need to have had 5 years ago. You know, this wouldn't have happened to this point where I have a point where Chachi can do his tricks and switch me between two cameras just because we have them.
Yes, watch.
Like this.
Pow! Oh, wait, I forgot.
That didn't pow. Pow. See that? Exactly.
And then, what?
Yeah, there's that too. So, you know, there's that. At that point, we got to get out of here. We got to get rolling because we're trying to stay a little bit closer to our times.
That's never going to happen. I don't even know why I tried to signal you.
I got into a wrap-up motion there, Chachi. Chilla, thanks for joining us and give us a second opinion on what's going on CES.
Thanks for having me.
I'm amazed we didn't even get into 4K. That's like all I've heard about all week is 4K.
Oh, and I think it's too expensive.
I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it.
I can't afford. I mean, $20,000 for a TV.
I can't even.
And I don't know that many people who
can't even. I have relatives that don't even have HD TVs, or they don't know that they're not hooked up right. You know, I mean, just we're not there. We're just not there. So thank you, Chilla. He's at Chilla on Twitter. Director of Cool Tech. Go check him out. He knows his shit. If you got any questions, tech-wise, throw them at him.
What up?
Be like, dude, what's the deal with this tablet? because you touch every tablet that comes through Pittsburgh. So.
I got the BlackBerry Playbook. today.
Exactly,
I'm
BlackBerry
only a year
Playbook
behind.
today. Let us know how that is. Chachi, that's the doc for Let's Play. Thank you.
just lost.
Chachi
No, no.
is at
I lost a shot.
Chachi. You have a home that you go to this time of the year,
I do.
which is ChachiPlays.com.
Yes. This is my most nerve-wracking time.
At
of mine.
Chachi says,
Yes. Everywhere.
please go donate ChachiPlays.com, the gaming marathon that we'll be doing in February 8th
Yeah.
and
30
9th.
days from now.
30
Is there a
days from
location
now.
for that?
Yes, Toonseum.
Back at the
back
Toonseum,
at Toonseum,
the new
cool.
home of ChachiPlays.com.
The beneficiaries this year are Art Express and Inc. and Toonseum once again. Toonseum is a at-risk art program, and Art Expressions Inc. does programs for homeless children.
Toonseum has a program, you mean.
That's what I said.
Toonseum as a whole is not an at-risk program.
No, I said they
It's
have.
a very nice
They have.
facility in
They
downtown
have.
Pittsburgh on Liberty Avenue.
Anyhow, yeah. So if you could go help us reach our $5,000 goal,
Woo, stepping it up.
that would be awesome.
Stepping it up. And if you
Yes.
want to play with Chachi,
It costs,
video games.
Yeah, if you want to, you can reserve your slot, $75, and you'll pick your slot. We actually have 3 tournaments this year instead of just the Tetris tournament.
Tetris and
We have Tetris, Street Fighter, and Mario Kart. The versions of Mario Kart and Street Fighter are not being released at this time for 2 reasons. One,
we
to
haven't picked them.
Well, yeah. One, I haven't picked them. 2, to keep the competition even. So, because I mean, if I be like, oh, we're gonna play Street Fighter 4 for Xbox 360, everybody's gonna run out and get Street Fighter 4 for Xbox 360.
Yeah, I have like I picked up a Street Fighter for like every console I have.
Right.
Like we have like some Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo rocking on a Saturn if we want to.
Right.
Or we have the Alpha Collection for the PS2. Or I do have Street Fighter 4. I do have Street
You know
Fighter
what?
Tekken.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'll probably go with the most obscure one.
Let's go to let's do Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition.
But yeah, so the tournament slots are $40 a piece.
Mhm.
And I mean, first, second,
There
third.
you go.
First,
I don't think we do. I'm sorry, WrestleWeb. I don't think we would do Street Fighter EX2. Nobody deserves that.
we have first, second, and third place will receive a trophy.
Question.
Yeah.
Question from the audience.
Yeah.
Chachi, is Pocket Fighter a candidate for this?
No.
No. Okay. Because it's on my Alpha Collection.
Okay.
Or Gem Fighter or whatever the hell it is. I'm at Sorgatron.com, MikeSorg.com, and check out all of our stuff at
There you go.
SorgatronMedia.com.
Because it was still
There's my title, Guy on the Couch. There we go. We'll work on that. We'll get you back in the swing of things there, Chach. Please go check out everything, AwesomeCast.com. For all the past episodes, hit us up on Twitter at AwesomeCast.
I'm sorry, I didn't
on
put the
Facebook,
information up, so
on
you're stumbling.
on Google Plus. We're on Stitcher, Blip TV. I'm trying to look at the camera, so I'm trying to do everything off the top of my head.
Well,
Stitcher,
look,
Blip TV,
if I switch
iTunes, all that stuff.
If I switch to that camera, you can see it.
Yeah, but that's not all the stuff I'm trying to say. We're here live every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time at live.sorgatronmedia.com. You can drop into the chat just like our friends like Fuzzwad, Riz, WrestleFan, John, Texas Anarchy, Wrestling Revolution, Bobby, FJ Town, Hot Wheels, and Alex. So with that, I'm Sorg for Chachi and Chilla. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you, our awesome chat room. You've been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week on this camera.